It's a beat LA type of day as the Sharks host the Kings.
You're Locked On Sharks, your daily podcast on the San Jose Sharks, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Hello, welcome to Locked On Sharks, the premier hockey podcast covering your favorite team in the Bay Area. My name is JD Young, caretaker at the Reef, also the co-host of Locked On NHL. I want to thank you for making Locked On Sharks your first listen, proudly part of the Locked On Network. We cover your team every day. And if you want to be an everydayer, all you have to do, just follow along wherever you get podcasts. And of course, you can watch on YouTube as well. And today, we'll be breaking down the Sharks-Kings game, getting you ready for tonight's matchup as all 32 teams are in action today as part of ESPN's Frozen Frenzy. And the Sharks, of course, get the 8 p.m. puck drop. So we'll be looking at the Sharks-Kings, how these two teams match up, look at the projected lines for tonight's game, and what to watch for, of course. So let's get started with the breakdown of these two teams. So the Kings are 4-3-3. They've been kind of turning things around here a little bit. Your Sharks are 2-5-2. The Kings rank 24th in the NHL with 2.8 goals for per game and 18th in the NHL at 3.10 goals allowed per game. Your Sharks 3.22, 14th in the NHL when it comes to offense, 4.67 dead last when it comes to goals allowed. The Kings power play 16th at 21.4%. The PK at 73.8, 21st. The power play for the Sharks 28.1, 7th. The PK is 65.6, 30th. So again, all gas, no breaks for your San Jose Sharks. Kempe leads the Kings with goals, 5, 8 assists, and 13 points. And Celebrini, of course, leads the Sharks with 6 goals, 9 assists, and 15 total points. The Kings this year have gotten off to a slow start, especially offensively. They've been struggling to generate expected goals for, and they've also struggled to generate offense. The defense has been okay and has kind of started to round into form here a little bit over the past kind of couple weeks here. The power play has been okay, but the PK has been a little bit of a struggle for the Kings, especially compared to the Kings that we've known over the past couple of years. And the goaltending has been kind of average-ish for the LA Kings. Looking at how they're expected to line up tonight, Kuzmenko, Kopitar, and Kempe. Of course, Kempe is a one to watch on that top line there, as he's been absolutely on fire to start the season. Fiala, Byfield, and Lafreniere. Fiala's also had a really great start to the season as well. We have Corey, Perry, Deneau, and more. Turcotte, Hellenius, and Armia on the fourth line. Dumoulin, Doughty, Edmondson, Clark, Anderson, and old friend Cody Ceci. And then I'm not sure if, as I'm recording this, Kemper or Forsberg for the Kings in net. So for your San Jose Sharks, there are some changes, a couple changes on the for the Lions here. Toffoli, Celebrini, Smith, Eklund, Wenberg, Kershaw, all that remains the same. Graf, Misa, Skinner comes in as Gaudette is going to be out for a little bit. Goudreau, Delandria, and Ryan Reeves. Defensively, Klingberg makes his return. Orlov, Liljegren, Ferraro, Klingberg, and Dickinson, Desharnais. Iorio is the one who is out for tonight, and then Askarov is going to be making his third straight start. So a couple injury updates before we get to kind of what to watch for. Luka Madulin was back at practice, so hopefully he should be returning here as well. And then we did have Letty go on IR, and Patrick Giles was recalled from the Barracuda. Interesting there. I thought they might go Cardwell, but I could see Giles gives you a little bit of flexibility with center wing right now, especially if Nisa is out for, his development days. Giles can potentially slide in there to play center. I know Kershaw's plays center as well, but I think Giles gives you that big body that, Maker likes, especially down the middle. So turning, though, to this game, and one of the things I'm really interested to see, right, is you have two teams kind of In a little bit of a transition here with the Kings, who have been on a massive road trip, just like the San Jose Sharks. This is their last game in a 5-game road trip. And you have the Sharks, who just came off an East Coast road trip. So who kind of is able to get their footing first, right? The Kings are very close to going home as they head home after this game. Do they kind of just like, and especially with the weird puck drop time at 5 p.m., which team can kind of get things going? And with the Sharks, who've been on the East Coast mainly, the internal clocks might be a little bit off. So the start of this game, I think, is very paramount. And I know I kind of say that every game, but how each team starts, and if the Sharks can kind of find their legs early, or are the Sharks kind of slow and have to kind of get into this game into the second period. So I think that's something to watch, especially with, again, late start, two teams who have been on the road for a long time here, who can kind of get going first. So I think for the Kings, like, who have kind of started to turn things around lately here, this is the Kings team, though, that still like hasn't really been impressive. Yes, I know they've won 3 out of their last 4, but they beat Chicago 3-1 on Sunday. Saturday lost in a shootout to Nashville. Nashville is not like a super great team. Dallas, they won in overtime on Thursday. That's a solid win. The Blues, who have been a major disappointment, they won in overtime last week, and then they lost in overtime at home to the Hurricanes. So it's not like it's a murderer's row. They've been playing some lower competition, and they've all either gone to extra time or to a shootout, with the exception of Chicago, where they won 3-1. So is this a Kings team that is turning a corner? Or is this a Kings team that maybe the Sharks can take advantage of because, or at least have an opportunity because they've been playing lower competition and they haven't been able to pull away? So I do think this is going to be a tightly contested game. Hopefully the Sharks can kind of keep the Kings offense. Don't let the Kings offense get on track, but we do know the Sharks do not play a lick of defense. And the Kings defensively have struggled this year, especially compared to what the Kings defense has been like over the last couple of seasons. So I do think there'll be some goals scored in this game, as both teams trying to figure things out here early in the season. So I do think there's going to be some opportunities for goals, but I do think the Sharks have the edge offensively compared to the Kings. And I think the Kings have the edge defensively compared to the Sharks. No, I'm not, I don't think it's a big, big shock there, but I do think the Sharks make this a game. I have a 4-3 game, but I do think the Kings win just because I think the Kings are a better team that has been started to kind of figure things out here, but I don't think the Kings run away with this game. And I think the Sharks, as we've seen with San Jose, they tend to have about 5 minutes a game where they completely lose their mind and they forget how to do simple things. And I think we'll continue to see that. So, but I think Askarov plays well. I think the Sharks continue to play well. But I think tonight, give me a Will Smith game, right? We know Celebrini's been kind of stealing all the headlines, deservedly so. Ekman's played really well lately. I think Will Smith has a nice game. Put me down for a 2-point performance from Will Smith. I think the Sharks lose 4-3 in a closely contested game, but the Sharks end up shooting themselves in the foot at some point, which is pretty common for them. So we'll have a full breakdown of this game on your next episode of Locked On Sharks, wherever you get podcasts. And of course, you can watch on YouTube as well. Follow the show on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and on TikTok at Locked On Sharks. Follow me on Twitter and Blue Sky at My Fry Hole. Till tonight, bye, friends.